Hello, hello, and welcome to our Thursday demo, cooking demo, live Facebook quarantine version cooking demo. It is a very hot and humid day here in Bath today, so bear with me because I'm starting to wilt. We all are. We are open from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. every day except Sundays, open 10 to 4. We are still doing curbside pickup for anybody that does not feel safe coming into the store. But if you do want to come in, we can allow up to 10 customers at a time. And it's been so great seeing everybody in here. So thank you to everybody that has been coming on up. Don't forget to wear a mask if you want to come in the store. We are not allowing anybody in, but again, we're more than happy to help you curbside if you don't want to wear a mask or can't wear a mask. We can also do virtual shopping with an iPhone on FaceTime or any kind of live video chatting like that, and we'd be more than happy to do that with you too. Another exciting thing coming up, we're doing a virtual cooking class with Chris Toy. We're going to be doing sushi on August 12th. It's a Wednesday from 6 to 8. If you want to sign up, it's $35 for the link. No, not per person, but for the link. So you could have 2 or 3 people watching on your laptop or on your tablet, and you can all join in. If you do sign up, we will be sending you the recipes, a shopping list, and a equipment list. I think for the most part, the only out-of-the-way equipment that anybody's going to need for the class is a sushi rolling mat. But it'll be sushi, seafood wonton soup, and gyoza, which is the kind of like a pot sticker, the Japanese style. And those can also be made non-seafood if you're not a seafood fan. So sign up for that if you want to give us a call, 443-1402, and we'd be happy to sign you up, $35, as I said, for the class. And tonight we are doing the 4 dips. So we've got some oven-proof great pie dish from Emile Henry. We've got some ramekins there. We have tons of crackers and pretty colored napkins. And I also wanted to mention the Polish pottery. We have this great little dip dish here, and we just got a huge order from Polish pottery, so we're going to have a lot of brand new stuff from them. So if you're a fan, make sure you come in, give us a couple days to get it up here, but we're going to have a lot of really good stuff. Quickly, the wines. We have featuring tonight a rosé. This is from the Azores. It's $20.99. It's really delicious. It's minerally. It's not super fruity. Really refreshing. We have a cava from Spain, which is like a Spanish bubbly, Spanish champagne, $17.99. We've got this Maine made, $15.99, Morphos from Oyster River, I believe. And then we also have a muscadet, which is a really nice wine for any kind of seafood, especially oysters. It's also really minerally. So let's get the show on the road here. If you looked at the recipes, there are actually 4 because I included one that doesn't have seafood, but you can easily put seafood into it to make it seafoody. And I'm going to do 2 hot dips that I'll do first, put in the oven, and then we'll do 2 cold dips as well. We're going to start with cheesy shrimp dip. So we start out with butter and onions in a pan, and you want to cook them until they are what we call translucent. So they're not white like when you first cut it. You want it to get a little bit cooked there, but not too much. And then we've got our spices, which are dillweed, smoked paprika, garlic powder, and salt. If you don't like dill, put something else in. If you do whatever sounds good to you works. These are really versatile recipes because you can do anything with them. This one is particularly good too if you use scallops instead of shrimp, or a combination. It's really fabulous. So we're just going to stir this up. Make sure those are coated. I'm going to turn my heat back on under my onions. And we're going to cook these until they're just cooked. They're going to be pink because they're going to go in the oven as well. So I'm going to put these in the pan with the onions. And they're all going to get chopped up and mixed in with the base. Oops. So don't worry too much if one of them has a lot of paprika or a lot of dill or whatever on it. It's all going to be real good. And we want to get all that good flavor in there. So I'm going to put that on low. Spread them out a little bit so they're all on the heat. And meanwhile, I am going to mix up my base, which is over here in the bowl. So I have, for the cheesy shrimp dip, I have cream cheese. I'm doing half batches here, so that's why they look so small, because I don't want to fatten up the staff too much with all these rich dips, and they're going to be eating them tomorrow. So this is cream cheese and mayonnaise, and I've let the cream cheese sit out for about an hour and a half or so. In the winter, when it's colder, cooler in your house, you might want to leave it out a little bit longer, but it's going to mix much more easily if it is room temperature. So this right here is just mayonnaise and cream cheese. If you want to make a lighter version, use light cream cheese, use light mayonnaise. For the dips that have sour cream in them, use light sour cream. So they don't have to be really bad for you. It's just better if they are. And then I'm going to put in a little bit of Tabasco. You can use any kind of hot sauce you like, or not use any at all. You can use a lot, use a little. And I have grated cheese. This is cheddar cheese. I like a nice sharp cheddar. And don't forget my lemon juice. And this is pretty much it until our shrimp is ready. So that's all mixed in. And I use my fingers a lot. I'm sorry if that is unappealing, but my hands are nice and clean. So that is all mixed up, and we're ready for our shrimp. So next up is the bonus non-seafood recipe. Now you can add crab to this, you can add shrimp, you can add lobster, you can add any kind of seafood that you like would be really good in this, but we're going to make a version that is non-seafood for the non-seafood lovers. And again, this is mayonnaise, sour cream in this case, and cream cheese. And you're going to find by the end you know exactly what I'm going to say, because all of these are made more or less the same way, just slightly different ingredients. But they're so easy to whip together as long as you have the ingredients in your house. If you're having surprise guests or anything, these are great dips to just throw together. You can do all of them if you have a big party. Put little dishes out at different stations. So that is the sour cream, cream cheese, and mayonnaise. I have a small garlic clove, which I minced up. I have lemon juice, fresh lemon juice. This is mozzarella and cheddar. I put them both together. It's two different cheeses there. And I'm going to mix that up. You can put everything in at once if you want. It's just a little easier to get it all mixed up well if you mix it in bits and pieces. This is frozen spinach, which I drained really well and squeezed the juice out of it, because you don't want a lot of extra moisture in here. And this is artichoke hearts. If you don't like artichoke hearts, leave out the artichoke. If you want to use kale, kale would be great in it. I've done it with kale before. You just want to steam it or cook it a little bit, saute it first, and chop it up really small. But that's another yummy thing you can put in here. So this is cream cheese, sour cream, mayonnaise, garlic, lemon juice, mozzarella, cheese, artichoke hearts. And then I'm going to put it in an oven-proof dish here. Make sure you get it all mixed up well. And the recipe calls for breadcrumbs. I have panko. And I didn't have any Parmesan handy, so I'm not going to bother to put it in, but it's really good with a little Parmesan on top mixed in with your breadcrumbs. And we'll spread that right on top. You can purchase panko at Now You're Cooking, of all places. I'm sure you can also find it at your grocer. And you can use regular breadcrumbs, the Progresso or whatever brand you like as well. I'm going to turn over our shrimp here, get them cooked on the other side. And you can see they're nice and pink. They're getting pretty well cooked, and the onion is browning nicely as well. I'm going to leave those for another minute or so, and then I'm going to let them cool off just a little bit before I cut them, even though I do have hands of asbestos. All right, so there's 2 dips down, and we're only 10 minutes in. Creamy crab dip. Heather made this the other day, and it was fantastic. So again, I have cream cheese, I have mayonnaise, smushing it up. And like I said, don't be afraid to try different spices or herbs. If you really like tarragon and shrimp is a really nice match. Some people use bay seasoning for their shrimp here. You can use the scallops instead of shrimp. In this particular dip, this is going to be a cold dip. You could, if you had leftover lobster, whoever has leftover lobster, but if you do have leftover lobster, this is a wonderful dip to use that up in. Or if you don't like crab. And because this isn't going to get cooked, I want to make sure it's really, really well mixed, because it's not going to all melt in together like the other two. Okay, so we've got onion powder, salt, and garlic powder. And like I said, it's very humid here today, so it's all getting kind of sticky. I'm going to put in a little bit of Tabasco. You don't have to, but you can. I think Heather used sriracha, and that was a really nice addition the other night. And then we have parsley. And we have some beautiful fresh crab meat that we picked up at Plant Seafood this morning here in Bath at the Rotary. And I am just going to use half of it because I'm making a batch here. Excuse me. But this is just really good. Look at that. And it smells so good and fresh. And we're going to just use about a half. You can use more if you want to. You can make it super crabby. And mix that all in nicely. So these are great. These dips are great with crackers, something that's not really breakable unless you have something to spread it with or spoon it onto your crackers. I was eating them with some corn chips yesterday, and my corn chips just kept breaking, and it was very disappointing. But also on baguettes, you could toast little slices of baguettes, make some crostini, anything like that, serve that with it. And voila. We have crab dip, and this is all ready to eat. It's really good to let it sit for a little while in your fridge just to chill again, and a lot of the flavors will come out a little bit more, but you can eat it just like that. It's all ready to roll. Let's get rid of my dirty dishes here. Oh, lemon juice. I always forget something. So we'll just mix the lemon in there quickly.
You do have a lot of little bowls to keep track of.
What's that?
You do have a lot of little bowls.
I have a lot of little bowls. If you're doing this at home, you're probably doing one at a time. This is a feat of multitasking here, so I want you all to be very impressed that I've not screwed anything up yet except for forgetting the lemon juice. It's no big deal. Crab meat. I'm going to turn off my shrimp here. And let that start cooling a little bit. And we'll get on to our very last dip. This is a dilly salmon dip. I am using some canned salmon. It's got a little more flavor than tuna does. It's not super flavorful. If you have leftover salmon, if you do a big poached salmon, you have leftovers, or baked or broiled or pan fried or whatever. If you have leftovers, that's awesome to use in there. I'm also adding smoked salmon for some really good flavor. You can do it with all smoked salmon if you want to. But this gives it a little bit of heft. Oh, I didn't mix my stuff together. So last one, folks. I know this is getting tedious with all the mixing of the sour cream and the cream cheese, but last one here. So this mix, or this dip, has horseradish in it, which adds a really nice flavor. But I was thinking today it would also be good with a little bit of raw onion. We do have scallions. And I love capers. I think capers would be really good in it, especially if you're using quite a lot of smoked salmon. Add a little pickly kind of flavor to it. So we'll toss this in here. Get that all mixed in. And this is our Worcestershire and horseradish. This is my, I couldn't find any fresh dill this morning, so I'm using a little bit less than it calls for, but I'm using dried dill, garlic powder and dried dill. Let's put that in there. Don't forget my lemon juice. And I always try to use fresh lemon juice. It's not absolutely imperative, but especially for these dips that you're eating without cooking, you're just eating them cold. I think the fresh lemon just adds a much nicer flavor. And we've got our scallions for a little onion flavor and smoked salmon. So again, you can see how easy these guys just whip right up. If you've got the ingredients on hand, you need a sudden dip, or you decide to take a nice chilled bottle of rosé or bubbly down by the water and have some appetizers. This is a nice way to just add a little change from cheese and crackers and salami. And you can garnish these with fresh herbs if you want to. So there's our crab dip and our salmon dip. And these are going to be hot, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to take my shrimp out of here. And I'm going to hold on. I'm not even going to really hold on to it. I'm going to immediately take the scrapings from the pan. So this is the onion. There's a lot of good juices from the shrimp. There's the melted butter. And we're going to add that in because that's going to give it some really good flavor as well. And I'm going to cut these guys up pretty small because I want them to go all into all of the cream cheese. So every single bite anybody takes has a nice bit of shrimp in it. And these are rather hot, so don't feel like you have to do it immediately when they come out of the pan. Don't try to be a hero, folks. I'm a seasoned professional. And it was gone within about 5 minutes, and there were like 7 or 8 people. It's a really, really tasty dip. Okay. So I also wanted to mention our friends down at Center Street Bakery on Friday nights are doing a tapas night, and you should check them out. They open at 5 and they go until they run out of food. They're also giving away some coupons with other businesses. I think you can, if you get a secret password, you can get something from the fountain. The Bath Brew Company is participating, and you can also get a coupon from Now You're Cooking for $5 off a purchase, which does not apply to alcohol or gift certificates, but pretty much anything else if you go and get some tapas. So they're all ready to see you tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, and Aaron and everybody down there is really excited about it. So that's another fun thing to do in Bath this summer. Okay, so that's all mixed up. I'm going to put it in my other oven-proof bowl here. And this recipe doesn't call for the breadcrumbs on top, but I'm gonna, because I have the panko right here, I am going to put a little panko on top. It just kind of gets golden brown and adds a little kind of crunchy texture. There we go. And some panko. And I'm going to put these right into the oven. They're going in at 350 for about 15 to 18 minutes or so, until they're kind of bubbly. Little bubbly and kind of golden brown on top. So again, I've made a big mess, but if you're just making one of these, it's not going to be as big of a mess as I've made here. So again, curbside, if you're interested, give us a call, 443-1402. If you want to come into the store, we're open 10 to 5 daily, except Sundays 10 to 4. We do require a mask. We've got new Polish pottery coming in. We've got great wines. We've got all kinds of oven-proof dishes to put your dips in. And we'd love to see you soon. I hope you have a great night. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.